Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Awandem Mkunu. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another one of my videos. Do watch, do like, do share, do comment, do subscribe, but most importantly, do you. In today's video, I will be answering some of the questions that you guys have either DM'd me or sent as emails or even left in the comment section here on YouTube. So I'm just gonna pick random ones. This isn't gonna be too long of a video because I can't post like extremely long videos. So sorry for my last update. I know that it cut off, but I can't, and I cannot, I don't know why, but I can't upload the rest of it either. So sorry. I'm just gonna try and keep my videos really short from now on. So I'm gonna make this like real short. Okay, so question number one that I get quite often is, what did you study? So I studied a Bachelor of Science. I did Geological Science, and I studied at the University of KZN. Number two that I get asked is, if you have a diploma and if you don't have a degree, can you still apply and can you still get a job here as a teacher? Honestly, the answer is no. If you don't have a degree, then you're not eligible. That's it. Like, I know that maybe you might hear from an agent or from someone else that tells you, oh no, come on, do the things. Don't do the things. If you don't have a degree, don't do it. Don't try it, because the law here is hectic. And even if something was like, even if it was the law at some point, make sure that you always know the laws at that time, because these things change. I know that when I applied for a job, if you guys don't know, if I didn't say before, I live in Changsha. So when I applied in Changsha, they were taking people that had any degree. So like I said, I have a degree in science and I don't have it in education or in English, and I still applied and I got a job in this province. So like in Hunan province, Changsha being the city. And now the laws changed so that if you didn't study English or education, you're no longer eligible to come to Changsha. So only if you're already in Changsha with like other types of degrees, because you're already on the system, can you remain here. But if you're new and you want to come in, that's a completely different story, and you would not be able to come here. So make sure that you know the law of the specific province, the specific city that you want to go to, because China is huge and every single province will have its own laws and regulations. So please stay informed. Number three question that I get asked quite a lot is, how much did it take for you to come well, I'm sorry, what's happening to me? How much did it take for you to come from SA and get to China? So number one, like, actually this is pretty long. I could talk forever just on this, but for me it took quite a lot of money because I had to prepare all my documents myself. So like, most of the things that you prepare back home, you'll probably need to pay for. For example, your passport, you'll need to pay for your visa, you'll need to pay for your non-criminal certificate, to get your health certificate, to get your documents notarized, all of those things cost money. So actual notarization at Durko is free, but I'm from Durban, so I had to go all the way to Pretoria myself, and those are costs. So it does take a lot of money, like that on its own. And then there's the flight, which takes even more money. And then there's actually staying here for the first month before you paid, and surviving and having enough money to be able to buy, you know, your essential human basic needs. So all of that together, I would probably say that just for your documents back home, and especially if you don't have your TEFL can be very costly, because they range from about 3,000, you can get it for even 5 or 6,000. So just getting the TEFL on its own is expensive, and obviously getting your degree on its own is another huge expense. So I'm not gonna include the degree into this cost. I'm gonna say with the TEFL and all the other documents, I would probably give it like a 10,000 rands total. And then for your flight, I know I paid 8,869 ish just for my flight, a one-way trip to China. And it had a couple of stops. I stopped in Qatar and Hong Kong, and then I made it to Changsha, and that was like close to 9,000 rand. So already we're looking at 19,000 rands, and then you need to survive for a month, and for that you're probably looking at like 5,000 rand minimum, because you don't know what type of emergencies may arise. You don't know if you're gonna get sick, you don't know any of that. So just have a little bit extra in your pocket in case all of that, because to be honest, when you like, if you're just getting food here, it's not going to be too expensive for a month. You can get food, you'll eat. If you're living close to your apartment and you're walking to your school, which is me, I walk to my school every day, then you won't have to worry about transport costs. It's mainly just going to be food, and that's pretty cheap. But you do want to have a little bit extra for emergencies. So I'm going to say 5,000 rands in total. So that's what, 19 plus 5, that's about 24,000 rands. And for me, I had the additional cost of having to pay for my apartment. So I had to pay the deposit, and I had to pay the first 3 months. In China, you don't pay your rent monthly, you pay for every 3 months. 3 I was doing this for 3. You pay for every 3 months. And I had to pay that out of my own pocket. My school didn't do anything, they weren't here. And apparently in order for me to apply for a loan, I was gonna have to wait for another 4 months. Mind you, I was another 4 weeks. I was already in China at the time that I found this out. So I couldn't wait for 4 weeks and not have a place to live, because I'm waiting for a loan to pay for a place to live, if that makes sense. So I needed extra money, and I think that was around 16,000 rands that I had to get to pay for the deposit and the first 3 months. So my own total was around 40,000 rands plus minus. So it can be very, very, very costly. But for the most part, these processes and like getting your documents and all of that stuff, it doesn't happen instantly. It's something that will happen over a course of like 3 months. Getting your TEFL alone can take some time. So it's not going to be like you're going to have to spend all of this money at once, but it will accumulate. So I don't know, just be prepared for that. And then number 4 and final question that I get asked is what is it like living in China as a black person? I don't know, guys, like this is a tricky one, because for me, like when I was coming to China, I did so much research. Like I did like everything that was like China, being black, teaching, all of that. Like I was watching it on YouTube, I was reading articles on Google, I was doing everything. So I already knew that, like, obviously you coming in as a black person, and that's going to be different. They're not used to that. Like in China, most of the people are Chinese, not all of them, but most. So some Chinese people would have they wouldn't have met other races before. So you will be like the first black person or white person or whatever that they're seeing like in their lives. So I completely understood that, and I was aware of that, and I was ready for that. I was prepared for like the staring, or people taking pictures of you, people touching your hair, people touching your skin, you know, all of that, like, I don't know, like that attention that you should be prepared to get, like, to be honest. But I don't know if it's Changsha or what it is. I haven't really gotten like as much attention as I thought I was gonna get, which is great, which is fantastic. Because like when you're reading, like I was prepared to get like people taking pictures all the time, people coming to me, people touching my skin. And to be honest, no one's ever touched my skin, ever. I have had people touch my braids, like usually old ladies, and usually if we like in a tight space and they just like, and they can just reach their hands and touch my braids. This is like in a lift, for example, and it's happened to me twice in the lift. So yeah, and my braids were kind of long, so I might not even like feel it. I just had someone next to me be like, oh, they're touching your hair, and I'm like, oh wow, you know. It's actually kind of rude. I don't like it. I do not like it at all, but it hasn't happened to me like so often that I'm like crazy about it. I've been here for a very long time, and like a very long it's only been like 7 months. Okay, for 7 months, it happening twice isn't a big deal. Like, it's fine. People taking pictures, I have had this, like, you know, like low-key, they'll take their phones out and they're like this, or they'll act like they're taking pictures of them, like just really odd things on the subway, in restaurants, all of that, they do that. Or like some of them will actually take out their phones and call someone else, so like they'll video call, and then they'll kind of like try and get you in the shot with them. Don't do that. If you're Chinese and you're watching this, don't do that. But yeah, I don't mind if you like come to me and ask to take a picture. That's different. But like if you're sneaking a pic, that's just weird. Yeah, so personally, the only downside for me is that I don't speak the language. So it's like, it's hard, it gets annoying if you want something and you can't explain. But there's also technology for that. Like my phone comes in really handy. I'm not mad, I'm not really that mad. It's okay, like it's really okay. I think if you go to like the more rural places where they really don't know black people or white people, whatever, then you might have more attention and all of that. I've also heard that like the bigger cities like Changsha, Shanghai and Beijing, like they also like stay and do all of that fancy stuff. I'm not sure, I've never been to Beijing or Shanghai, so can't be too sure. But yeah, basically that is it. That is it for this week's video. If you guys have any more questions, just leave them down below. I was only answering like the popular ones that I get, and I did really want to make this short. My YouTube limit is 15 minutes, so basically that's all I have time for today. I'll see you guys again next week. Not really oh wait, next week I want to do a contract, so I want to sit down with you guys and kind of discuss what it is that you should be looking for in your contract, like the keywords and the hidden meaning, and like what is a scam and what you shouldn't sign. Because I've also tune in for that. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.